Hi there, my name is Stacy Phillips and I'm a certified health coach. My email is mycoachstacy@gmail.com. That's mycoachstacy, S-T-A-C-Y, @gmail.com. Wanted to get that out of the way because I might forget at the end and I don't want to forget. But today, what I really wanted to talk to you about, I'm very passionate about, and I'm very excited to share some tips with you on how to recover after a slip on your program. We've all been there. So I speak from not in any sort of judgmental way. And if I fall into the use of you, you need to do this or you should do that, or, please understand, I'm not talking about like you specifically. I'm using it in general terms, and I'm also applying it to myself as I'm saying it. So, first of all, what is a slip? Okay, what is a slip on our program? Really, in very simple terms, a slip is when we deviate from our eating plan for, whether it's a meal or one thing or a whole day or a whole weekend or a week or 2 weeks or however long your slips might go for until that you are able to rein it back in and remember your health goals. So this video is a little bit about how to rein it back in and not let it completely unravel your progress and completely derail your plan, because it doesn't have to. I used to be 100% all or nothing, and I'm still that on a day-to-day basis. For example, I try and stay true to my plan 100% today. Then if something happens, like, next weekend, or if my day is derailed a bit by a choice that I have made, that, I need to tell you, these choices are not moral choices. I'm not a bad person if I eat off my eating plan. All it does is it shows me, it just takes me farther on this timeline from where I've said I wanted to go. So if I say I want optimal health, I want a healthy BMI, I want to attain and maintain optimal health, that's here. That's my goal. Maybe I'm over here working toward that goal. If I choose to eat off my eating plan, it's going to affect my progress. Absolutely. There's no way we can modify this plan and I don't even say get away with it, because it's not like we're trying to get away with anything. There's the clinical basis of this plan is based on certain parameters being met, and our eating plan is based on those parameters. If you don't meet the parameters, then you're not going to get the results. So anyway, and I have to do say that typical results are 2 to 5 pounds a week for the first 2 weeks of the plan, and then 1 to 2 pounds a week every week thereafter, and results vary. So back to here. You want optimal health. You're headed this way. You're focused on your goal. You're staying on your plan. That's what that looks like. Eating on your plan every single day and drinking your water and all that good stuff. But you've had a slip. You've made a decision in your eating that is not on the plan. It's a major modification, and you now are left with a choice. You can either prolong the slip and lose, actually backtrack in your efforts and get farther away from your goal of attaining and maintaining a healthy weight and optimal health, or you can immediately stop. You can focus on what your goals are and then choose to move forward in your goals again. And what that looks like is getting right back on plan. Right back on plan that moment. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until dinner even. And definitely don't wait until Monday, because my goodness. I mean, today is the tomorrow we talked about yesterday. So do it today, right now. Your next decision, get right back on. And no matter what you've had today, you could try and compensate in your mind by thinking, well, I don't want to eat the rest of my meals on my plan because I had this morning. Don't think in those terms, because if you don't get right back on your plan with the spacing and the meals, you continue to be off plan all day, even though it's off plan in a way that you're restricting your food intake. It's still off plan. So do get right back on plan, and that means go to your kitchen, get a meal, and drink it or eat it or however you do that, and then you're right back on plan. So back to your spacing every 2.5 to 3 hours, and all that. So that is how physiologically to get right back on plan and to choose health again. Now, up here, mentally, The anatomy of a slip in your brain is a little bit more difficult to overcome because sometimes we make commitments to ourselves and we break them, and really that's where sort of the I would say if there's a danger, the danger is making that a habit, making a habit of breaking the commitments you've made to yourself. And oftentimes when we start programs such as this, we are in such a habit of breaking the commitments we make to ourselves, we don't even view it as such. But really, that's what we're doing. And we need to value and respect ourselves as worthy individuals and valuable people, and we're worth keeping the commitments we make to ourselves. So, up here, let's say your slip involved a lot of carbs, and you are now you have, I don't want to call it fat brain, but foggy brain. Where you're not even really into it anymore. You don't even want to get back on plan. And that is the danger zone. Okay, this is what I kind of term. I kind of thought about this analogy this morning. I saw a movie recently, and I won't name it because I don't want to get any trademark violations from any major motion picture studios. But I saw a movie recently where a lot of little people were after something in a big mountain, and there's the word doom was involved in that, and there was a dragon involved in that. And anyway, these little people were wandering around in this mountain, and it was very dark and it was very scary, and there was a dragon at the bottom of it. Okay, so if you're gonna slip, if you've come off the heels of a slip, and you wake up and you are just not feeling anymore, your brain, you have thrown your brain into this mountain. That's kind of what I think about now when I think about that. You've thrown your brain into this mountain, and you need to go retrieve it. And so, yeah, I know I'm going way off with this, but this is just what I was thinking about today. You've thrown your brain in there, and you have to go retrieve it. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to say it's a piece of cake. Just do it already. It takes courage. It takes courage to get in there, and it takes 3 days in that mountain to find your brain again and bring it back out. And then your emotions catch up with your actions at that point. And after 3 days, you will be in fat burning again. You will have the energy. You'll be clicking on all cylinders with your desire to get healthy again. But for those 3 days, you just need to get in that mountain and battle the darkness and battle the dragon and retrieve your brain and come back out. And so that's what I'm telling you as far as the anatomy of a slip. That's the danger that we run into when we make a habit out of eating off of our plan. Because we don't know which time we go into that mountain to get our brains back, that we're going to get lost in there. And it's just going to be kind of dark and scary. And honestly, I can't guarantee that you're going to come back out. That's why I never really condone, I never think it's a good idea to plan to go off plan. Because you don't know how courageous you're going to need to be to go through those 3 days again and get back into fat burning. It can be difficult. I'm not going to lie. It can be difficult. It's doable, but you have to overcome it in your brain, knowing that this is going to require a little bit of courage. You're not a failure. I just want to get that word out of our vocabulary entirely. We are not failures if we slip on our eating plan. Far from it. We're giving ourselves an opportunity to be really courageous and descend into the mountain, the dark, scary mountain, and find our brain again, bring it back out, and get our intellect and get our emotions back on board with the process. And that's really the advice that I have for you is that first day that you need to go get your brain because you've slipped and you've tossed your brain into that mountain, into the molten lava, you need to go find it. You're not going to really want to do that necessarily, and it's really the power of your convictions. It's the power of your why. It's the power of there was a greater picture in even that story. There was a greater mission involved. And they weren't just running around in that little mountain just for the fun of it. They had a greater goal in mind. And this was required for them to be able to achieve their goal. So your goal is optimal health. It's right here. so you took a little, skydived off over here and, took this path and, roundabout. That's sometimes what success looks like. But success is going to look like you coming back out and getting back on the path and heading toward optimal health again. That's what success looks like. And again, it's going to take 3 days. So just know that your brain and your emotions are going to be playing tricks on you. Tricky brain, tricky thoughts, tricky feelings. I call them tricky thoughts and tricky feelings. And just put those aside and just decide to do physiologically what you need to do to get back into fat burning. So don't lose your brain in the mountain of, I don't want to say, I don't want to trademark violate. Don't lose your brain in that mountain with the dragon. And if you do, go find it. It'll take 3 days. And then you'll come back out and everything will be peachy. You'll be back on your journey, back on the path of optimal health. So I hope this was helpful at all. Just so you know, I do speak from a lot of experience in this area. And the key words that I'd love you to remember are grace and forgiveness to yourself and courage, because it's going to take a little bit of courage to get back on the path, but you absolutely can do it. So if you would like my assistance in that endeavor, I am a free certified health coach. Please feel free to contact me. If you do already have a health coach with our program, be sure to reconnect with them because I don't take active clients that come from other coaches. So reconnect with them. They'd be more than happy to help you and to get you back on the path to optimal health. Again, my email is mycoachstacy@gmail.com. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.